Hi everyone and welcome back to Chess for Charity. In this video, I want you to see if you can play a little bit of defense here. It's black to move, and this position is pretty much lost except for one move. So right now, your bishop is being pinned by the rook and attacked by both the rook and the queen. And a couple of ideas here just off the top. Rook takes bishop is a pretty big threat. Queen takes bishop is a pretty big threat. There's no fork by the knight here because the bishop is covering like this. And it's looking like a pretty desperate position. And your job is to see if you can find the one move that keeps black in this game. It's quite challenging. This was played by McDonald-Burn, and hopefully you can give it a try and find it. Before you do that, let me just encourage you to subscribe if you have not yet already. Half of the income that I earn in this channel goes directly to charity, so that would be a great help if you did. Okay, so just looking at the engine here, there are two moves that are suggested. Queen f5, these are like the not best moves, but these are the other suggestions. This fails immediately to this rook takes. This is just showing how desperate this position is in the eyes of the computer. Right? This is what the line is showing. And I think you'd agree with me that this is pretty easy to win with white. I have a queen against a rook, and the two minor pieces cancel out. So it's not going to be something like this, queen f5. The other move being suggested by the computer is queen d8. But still, after rook takes g5, what do you even... there's just such an attack here. You're just going to get run down the board. King h7, bishop g4 is the best move according to the computer. Your goal is just going to just make threats, try to see what you can do, get pieces involved, and see if it works out. Those are not the best moves, but that just shows you the type of danger that you're in, that the computer wants to give away the queen with queen f5. So what is the best move here? Hopefully you gave it a thought. And let me just get you there if you haven't figured it out yet. So if you really wanted to, I guess I should say a different way, if you could, you'd really want to put this knight on f3, right? If you could. Now you might say, I can right now. Sure, it just gets captured. I'm sure you know what I mean though. If I can put this knight on f3 without the bishop seeing f3, that would be very nice. Okay? And additionally, this queen is hanging if this pin was somehow broken. Okay, you see where I'm going here? So I really want to break this pin. That'll give me access to the queen. And maybe I can block this bishop's sight of f3. Is there one square that is accessible to the pieces that does both of those things? And the answer is yes. Queen to g4 is the crazy move that does both of those things. That breaks the pin on the bishop, so now the bishop is threatening to capture the queen on d2, and it now allows this knight to see f3 without an issue from the bishop on h5. So, surprisingly, this is the best move in the position, queen to g4. Crazy. Now here's what's interesting about this. Rook can take, pawn can take, bishop can take. This piece can get captured three different ways. Let's look at all three. If the bishop captures, well, remember what I just said. You just broke the pin, which means I can take your queen, and surprisingly, there's no good discovery for this bishop. Everything that black has is on dark squares, even the pawns here. And even if you wanted to do this to grab this pawn, you can't. It's defended. So there's no good discovered check here. Black is much better in this position. According to the computer, about -4. Okay, so you don't take with the bishop because that will hang your queen. Okay, what about the pawn? Well, the pawn is even worse because now, not only did you block in your bishop here, you just allowed me what I call the family fork. You get the queen, the king, and the rook all in one shot. And the queen, of course, is going to be what's captured. And this is winning for black. It's about -5 now. So This move, queen g4, removed the site of f3, and it broke the pin simultaneously. So the best move for white here is to take with the rook. Now that seems obvious, right? Because you want to keep the pin alive. And this is what was played in the game, and black ended up winning this game, even though the computer is saying this is slightly better for white. But what is this move doing? As I mentioned, the bishop can no longer see f3. So knight f3 check, the king goes somewhere, and then I take this queen. And after white takes the piece on g5, what is the best move? You might wonder. When I first thought of this, I thought the best move was king here to do this little double attack. It doesn't quite work because king g4 can be played. I'm not going to win the piece back, in case you were thinking that. And the best move in this position, believe it or not, is just to play king to f8 or king to h8. They're both about equal in the computer evaluation. And you're threatening to check on e4 and win the rook. So, even though this game is still not over, according to the computer, white is slightly better. The only move to even give you a chance at fighting on is queen to g4. Just look at that crazy move, putting your piece in harm's way 3 different directions, breaking 2 different things, the knight hop and the bishop capturing the queen. It's just a wonderful move, and in the game it was found it's an incredibly rare move to leave a piece hanging on an empty square 3 different directions. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you want to look up the game, I think it's Burn. I forgot the opponent. I can put it in the description. But yeah, that is it for now. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.